Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society. Welcome to our review show here of AEW Dynasty from the Chaifetz Arena. Is that how you pronounce it? In St. Louis, Missouri. I'm one of your hosts, California. This is Juicy Boy. How you going, boy of juice?
Oh, dude, I'm doing pretty fucking good. I'll tell you what, man. Like each one of these AEW pay-per-views, it's like a mental marathon, is what it is. You know, you sit down, like fresh-faced, you know, bushy, like ready to watch the show. By the time the show goes off the air, you're just sitting there as if a whole era of your life has gone by, feeling like you're not the same person that you were when you started, because it just...
Dude, it's just... I hate whinging about it because I whinge about it every time, but the pay-per-views are just too long.
Yeah,
it's too long.
I checked out the match times on Cage Match for this show.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. Yeah.
Pretty much every single one of them went for over the 16-minute mark, with the exception of Julia Hart versus
Willow, yeah.
Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, we'll get to all that.
Yeah, we'll get into it though.
I'll make sure I keep that up. The times.
Yeah, we didn't really do full intro here. Obviously, this is your official AEW Dynasty review. I'm gonna say up front so that people, you know, AEW fans don't click away. I liked this show. Like, I liked plenty of things on this show, and I'm going to be giving them plenty of credit for those things. So don't everyone think this is going to be like an AEW burial show. However, there are some things we're going to be discussing. We're going to be looking at some tweets at the end. But before we get into the main card, good and proper, as usual, California is going to take us through the pre-show. Go ahead, Carl.
No worries. And also, everyone, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell so you can find all of our videos as soon as they go live.
Yeah, mate.
Okay, so one thing I noticed different from usual, and I don't know if this was just an oddity situation here, but usually the crowd are already packed for 0 hour, but when it started with Trent Baretta versus Matt Sydal, very empty building at that stage. I was quite surprised by that. Not saying that it means anything. I just thought that was interesting. Maybe fans are like, look, I can only handle about 4 hours worth of wrestling. I can't be there for 5.5 hours. Because if you watch the 0 hour, which is 90 minutes, then the pay-per-view, 5.5 hours, that's too long. 4 is already long enough. Anyway, Trent Baretta, Matt Sydal. So Trent has apparently finally turned heel on the Best Friends.
Oh.
That stable had been around a bit too long. You know, it's kind of like the Dark Order in a sense. They had a good match. It was a good opener for the card. I'll give these guys props. Another note, I think I would enjoy AEW so much more if Excalibur was not the commentator. I don't think he needs to do play-by-play on the 0 hour. That's just me. You know, they've got enough guys there. The thing about Trent Baretta is, this is one of my thoughts. He's a solid wrestler, very solid wrestler, but he's just so bland and doesn't stand out as a character. I don't see this push going anywhere. Baretta hit a cradle pile driver on Matt, and I think that should have been the finish, but then he had to lock in a submission that he's never locked in before. On the throat with the shin on Sydal for the win. Trent attacked Matt's brother after the match, and then a guy that looks like he works at the local 7-Eleven chased him off. His name's Chuck Taylor, by the way. And then Trent gives Chuck an ultimatum because this is such a thrilling storyline with the Best Friends. And then Orange Cassidy came out, and he's teaming with Katsuyori Shibata in the next matchup. So Trent kind of hightails it out of there because he's scared of a civilian in jeans and a denim jacket. I just wish I could get through one show without Orange Cassidy being on the card, but
well, I was about to say it was a pleasure that I was able to do it. Thank God I didn't watch this show. Continue. Let's get through it.
Let's get through it. Orange Cassidy and Shibata against Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. The Shane Taylor promotions with Anthony Ogogo at ringside. Actually, he got on commentary, which was I like Anthony Ogogo on commentary.
STP.
I thought he was, Stone Temple Pilots, great band. I really wanted Shane Taylor to win. It's just, you know who's winning from the outset here. You know that guys like Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty are there just to put over people who are getting the push or who will forever be getting the push, which is always going to happen with Orange Cassidy. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. You've said it before. The joke is old now, as far as I'm concerned. But the fans still eat it up.
It was never funny at all. It's
It's,
not funny
they still
now.
eat it up, and I'm just like, you know what? Grow up, grow up already. Okay, I'll stop being a sourpuss, but okay. I like Shane Taylor. That's who I would be pushing here. I like his character. I like his attitude. The match was given way too much time, in my opinion. Baretta and Sydal went 8 minutes, but this one went 12 minutes and 40 seconds. And we knew what was going to happen. Lee Moriarty was going to get pinned by Orange Cassidy, and it happened from an orange punch, by the way. Worst finisher. Okay, next matchup, final matchup of the 0 hour, and I can't believe this. They unified the Ring of Honor 6-man tag titles with the AEW 6-man tag titles on the fucking pre-show.
Oh, why?
You're unifying championships and you put it on the pre-show? Why?
Why not just save everybody the last 15 months of our lives and just have the one set of trios tag titles to begin with?
I don't know, bro.
They created the AEW ones soon after, I believe, our ROH is acquired by AEW. They then have a 6-man or a trios title. Now you got one in each. What was the point? Sorry, I shouldn't even.
It's okay. Look, I've got some points to make about it, but
yeah,
like if this is a unification match, because the ROH World 6-man tag titles have been around since 2016, they have a richer history, and I'm sure it's going to be called the AEW Trios titles after this. So as a richer history, it's been around a while. Okay, the AEW ones haven't been around as long, but I think Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly probably could have taken the final match on the 0 hour, because if it's a unification match, it should be on the main pay-per-view. Show some respect to these belts that you brought in that should have never been brought in the first place, okay? I should just left it in Ring of Honor.
Silly.
Like, have Ring of Honor have like one thing that's a little bit different than AEW. Like, they have the pure title, have the trios titles over there. AEW don't need trios titles. They've got enough. Almost every match on this show is a title match. We'll say though, Jay White was the #1 guy in Japan, and now he's in a 6-man on the pre-show. Jesus Christ. It must be fun for Billy Gunn to wrestle his sons. I love the spot where Colton, he hit his dad from behind, and then he tried to make amends with him because it had no effect, and he hugged him. And then Billy like just socked him right in the fucking mouth. Like, what a horrible visual. A father just punching his son the fuck out. Anyway, Billy hit a famouser. Max Caster hit an elbow from the top rope, and then Jay White kicked out, and then he hit the Blade Runner to win and unify. But here's the thing, right? The thing everyone's talking about here, Juicy Boy. I don't know if you saw this on social media, but Max Caster's rap before the match.
Yeah, I'll actually just address that right now because we might get a little clip out of it. Get over yourselves, all right? OJ Simpson is dead, okay? And if anyone ever deserved to have their name dragged through the mud after death, it's OJ Simpson, okay? If that's the main point of controversy, or the fact that they said the word cancer, get the fuck over yourselves, right?
I don't even remember that.
these are wrestlers with a rapper gimmick. And if you think that anything that Max Caster said was inappropriate, then you've obviously never listened to any actual rap, which I guess would explain, you know, why some people are so enamored of the Acclaimed in that way.
Just listen to the Marshall Mathers LP and then come back to me if you're so offended over it. But anyway, like, to be honest, like, I thought the rap was really shit, and I thought his flow wasn't very good either. I don't know. It feels like he's fallen off a little bit with the rapping. Anyway, let's move forward into the main show here, Juicy Boy. We're opening the show here with the AEW Continental Championship on the line. It's no longer a Triple Crown, because Mark Briscoe has the Ring of Honor World title. I don't know what's going on with the New Japan Strong title. None of it's ever been explained to me that makes any sense at all. But anyway, Juicy Boy, please take it away. Kazuchika, Okada, and Park.
Yeah, this was pretty much every single generic indie match, and I mean high level indie. So this is like every single, you've seen this match a million times before on Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, AEW. Okada is supposed to be their new big signee. He's being paid all this money. I think he's really talented personally. I can actually see why he's been signed. They had a good match here. I thought that it was good, but like I said, it was just so generic. The rating of it's going to be a C plus because of that. Um, and I think I would have rated it a little bit higher, bro, if it wasn't for the fact that I just felt like, we have this Kyle O'Reilly Roderick Strong match still to come. We have the Danielson Ospreay match later on.
Mm.
Do we need three of these knockdown, drag out type matches? And the thing is, we don't need it. And then Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong aren't really going to perform quite up to the level of those other two matches that I mentioned. So it ends up kind of getting lost in the shuffle, in my opinion. I felt like yeah, I was surprised. That's what I wanted to say. I was surprised to see that Okada is still, he's the new hot thing, but now he just feels like another guy on the card already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there might be some people that are going to sort of say that I'm not giving it a chance. I'm not blaming him on it. It's just I feel as though, yes, you've got this big star. You can rely on him because, your hardcore demographic of your fans, they know who he is from Japan and seeing him elsewhere. But if you're going to sign him, you can't just rely on that percentage of the demographic that knows who it is. You've got to, even if you don't think it's right personally, you've got to give people a reason to think who may not know who he is, which I assume is the majority of the audience. You've got to give those people a chance to understand why you're talking about him like he's the next big thing. And then they go through this match and Okada wins with the short arm clothesline, the Rainmaker. At least Pac sold it quite well.
Mm.
Yeah, decent little match, but already I'm feeling like, okay, what are they doing with Okada? I feel like they're not doing what they should be doing to get the most out of him.
Fair enough. I knew it would be a good match.
Mm.
I was happy to hear Jim Ross's voice as well. They were doing impressive things, but to me, there was no heat. There's no heat. It's just guys hitting their moves on one another, and that's fine. There's people out there that just want to say that, and that's good for them. But for me, I need a bit more. I need a bit more to sink my teeth into. Not every match needs to have an amazing story going into it, but I, I I've watched 3 wrestling pay-per-views this weekend now. Like it gets a dime a dozen after a while. I always have felt like they've never used Pac in a way that makes him interesting at all. He's great in the ring, but I still have never been invested in his character. Plus, it doesn't help that he disappears for months on end as well. My favorite part of the match was when Okada was doing his usual thing where the crowd, I don't know, I don't know what they do. Do they all yell out Rainmaker or something? And
I
the
don't know.
camera zooms in on him, but instead of doing his pose or whatever, he just flipped off the crowd and the camera. And he took the moment away from them. That's what you're supposed to do as a heel. You're
Yeah,
supposed to keep trying to get the pop. You're
yeah,
supposed to take the pop away when you're a heel.
yeah, yeah.
I love that Okada grabbed the referee when Park looked like he was going to close in on him. Um, this was great because I like the finish very much because there was a lot of shenanigans. He's being a heel. Good stuff. Rainmaker
Yeah.
gets the win. 21 minutes, 55 seconds. I don't think we
Yeah.
needed that long. Um,
Probably not for this one. Not after watching it, you
and
know.
especially with the 6 man before was 14 minutes 45. That's 2
Yeah, and
long matches.
just before we march on to the next one, I'll just add on to the end of that because I thought that was a good point that you made there, bro. 21 minutes for this match. They could have done the exact same match in about 11. You know what I mean? They could have essentially told the same story and gotten the same objectives complete in less time. I think both guys are professional enough that they could have done that. But I think Tony's philosophy of booking. It's just, yeah, everyone needs this massive canvas to paint. No one's happy just painting a little, you know,
This
little
could easily
canvas.
be a 3-hour pay-per-view.
Mhm.
Easily. I mean, and you saying 11 minutes, I can already tell AEW marks be like, oh, they can't have an 11-minute match. This is a dream match. They've never wrestled
Yeah.
before.
Do
Who
people
cares?
understand how long 11 minutes actually is? Like for anyone out there that's got some wrestling experience, you and I have a little bit on the local level, right? You can plan out all this shit with your opponent before an indie show, and then you've run through like 5 or 6 things that you had planned, and the ref will tell you it's only been 6.5 minutes. You know, people, I think people underestimate exactly how long 11 minutes actually is,
Mm,
because they're so used to seeing these longer numbers at the end of these matches.
that's
Anyway,
right. Okay, let's move on to the next match. House of Black. Brody King, Malakai Black, Buddy Matthews taking on the rated Chicken Kings. I thought Ward Joe. Actually, Ward Joe's still probably the worst name I've ever heard.
they're
But
all
the
terrible.
rated Chicken Kings. Just call them Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe. Come on. Um,
Yeah, it's your turn, bro.
so look, the story is a little weak. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, Adam Copeland, he's a target because he's the TNT champion. So Malakai attacked him. And now he's got a feud with the House of Black. So then he had to find people to side with him in this feud. Okay, it's fine. E for effort. Good work, Tony. I'm sure you wrote it with a crayon. Um, I got to say this, and I know people out there probably will not like hearing it, but can these wrestlers please color their hair and beards? There's stuff you can use that can touch it up. You're all fucking gray. You all look old. If I was on television and I wanted to look youthful, strong, I'm going to color my beard and get all the grays colored in. I'm going to make sure that there's no silver shining on my head because I've got like even Trent Baretta he's all and Matt Sydal, they look old because they're not coloring their beard, they're not coloring their I mean Trent doesn't have any hair, but you can see the gray spikes. They just look old, man. Brody King has this gray coming through his beard. I mean, Edge is older, but these guys are a bit younger. I just think that they need to think about that. To me, it looks way too obvious. Oh, Ric Flair had white hair. Shut up. Shut up. It was fun. It just went a bit too long. 17 minutes 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Malakai missed Copeland and wiped him out with that spin kick for the win. I actually really like the finish, and I hope this leads to Malakai actually working a singles feud because all I ever see him do are these trios matches.
Yeah.
So him and Edge at what is it, Double or Nothing? Okay, I'm interested. Let's get Edge like doing something like sink his teeth into something else. Go from one cool angle to another. You know, none of this like wasting time with the Cope Open or whatever the fuck they call it. Okay, bro, what's your thoughts on the trios match?
Yeah, I also thought it was fun. I'm going to give this match a C minus because I had fun with this. I thought Adam Copeland, was performing well. I thought everyone did well in this match. This was the best performance I've seen out of Brody King so far. I liked what I saw out of him. I tend to agree with you. I don't think you need to. Oh, that's one thing I can't move on without touching on here. Soon as Eddie Kingston got into the match, all the psychology that Adam Copeland had been using starting out the match was thrown out of the window so he could do the machine gun chops and all of that different shit. You don't need that. You can just have a match on the show that's just your fun 6-man tag. God damn, bro. You know what? Have you ever heard the analogy of a wrestling card being like a menu at a fine dining restaurant and that you don't want the fucking steak for every fucking course of the meal?
Do you need the same spot every single match, every single time? Can't it just happen every couple of matches?
Yeah,
Why do you have to have it every time?
Yeah, that's all I really have to say about the match. I was pretty impressed with everyone. I think Mark Briscoe's lost in the shuffle. There are just so many people on this roster, bro, both on and off this show, that just could be better off elsewhere. There's too many people on the roster. You know,
They just need it.
there are too many
They need to really
examples.
properly separate Ring of Honor from AEW, get it a proper TV deal, and then not have anyone from Ring of Honor appear on AEW only at Forbidden Door to make it seem like it actually means something. But the Ring of Honor guys are always on the fucking show.
Yeah, like these 6-man tags. Just before we get onto, we see so many of these multi-man tags in AEW, and with so many different combinations of the same people that they all blur into one
Yeah, it's
for me.
shoehorning. He's shoehorning everyone in on the
Yeah.
shows. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I laughed my ass off when Eddie fell on his ass. He was trying to shake the rope or something, and his hands must have been sweaty. He slipped and fell on his ass. But they made it seem like it's because he's just like so worked up that, which is fine. Like I didn't see anything bad with it. I like Eddie Kingston. I like him.
Mm.
I reckon if I hung out with him, we get along quite well. Probably listen to some Cypress Hill or some shit. But I don't know why Cypress Hill. But anyway, okay, let's move forward, Juicy Boy. TBS Championship. Julia Hart taking on Willow Nightingale. What did you think?
All right, I'm gonna be really quick. C minus. Decent little match here. Not sure that I would have taken the title off of Julia Hart just yet, but I don't have a problem with it being on Willow either because, you know, AEW, they've ever since it's been off Jade Cargill, they've neglected the TBS championship basically. So the women's world title that's their real women's title. The TBS championship is just their excuse to put more of their women wrestlers on the show because they don't have enough stuff for them to do outside of having to give them a championship to feud over. Um, so yeah, that's the situation. Happy for Willow. I thought both ladies looked great. And I'm glad that this one didn't get a 15-minute time limit because it was nearing the end of its use by date with me by the time that it finished.
I see, bro. I see. Yeah, out of 12 matches, 2 women's matches. Um, this is another one of those like foregone conclusion things. You could tell Julia Hart was going to lose it to Willow because they've been building to Willow versus Mercedes.
Oh, fuck, bro. Don't let me gloss past my section of this review without mentioning that. Mercedes Moné comes out after the match, stands off against Willow. She's wearing a dress and all this crap. She comes out. She stands off with her, points to her. She looks at the championship Willow's just won. And, my reaction was just this. Nobody cares.
No,
Nobody cares.
not
And
one
I could
piece of
see,
emotion.
I could see the crowd, like I could see people in the crowd like jumping up and down, being all excited. The commentators
For
are making
what?
it seem like it's a huge thing and all this
It's not.
different shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Oh,
Okay?
so overrated, bro.
If you're
So
sitting there saying,
overrated.
"Well, I cared," are you saying that I'm nobody? Yeah, you're
Yep,
nobody.
you are nobody.
Because you're such in the minority. You're so disconnected from what regular people would find entertaining that it's just an anomaly. But yeah, nobody cared, yet it was still treated like it was one of the cornerstone moments of the show. Like that's what Mercedes Moné was paid to go there and do.
It was very, very bland. Very bland.
Oh, dude,
Okay,
it's
like
like a British risol, dude. Just fucking so dry.
see this went 6 minutes, so this was very welcome for me. Okay, so what am I going to say about this? Julia's kind of green still, but she's very popular with the audience, obviously. I think she's done fine as her in her run as the TBS champion, but again, we knew she wasn't going to beat Willow because we know Willow's working with Mercedes because like Dave Meltzer said, oh, what a great idea to bring in Mercedes to work with Willow because of what happened at New Japan when Mercedes hurt her ankle. I mean, what a great story. No one saw it, Dave. No one saw it. No one cares. No one cares. Nothing against Willow. No one cares about this angle because And it's not like Willow took her out and injured her. Like, didn't Mercedes hurt herself during the match? That's how she broke her ankle. That not like Willow didn't even have anything to do with it. So no, it's not a great story. I mean, oh my God, Bryan, I mean, what a great backing story. Shut up. Clean your office. It's just hard to believe Julia Hart could have an effect on Willow because the size difference is just ridiculous. It's like watching Hook throw around the gates of agony.
And that's the thing, like Willow's not even that much of a big girl. Willow is like a great size for a female professional wrestler. She's curvaceous. She looks like she has strength. You can believe that she has leg power, things like that. Willow is not a ginormous woman. It's just that Julia Hart practically looks like a high school kid.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
I did like the finish with the feet up on the moonsault, then the Doctor Bomb. Yeah. So okay, she celebrates Mercedes. You know what? I fucking hate her theme song. CEO. Shut up. It's shit. It's shit. And she does a little dance. She walks out. She takes off her jacket and leaves it on the floor. Who does that? People don't do things like this. There's something that happened earlier in the match that people don't do, right? And they do this all the time in wrestling, even in WWE. Mercedes is watching the match backstage, so she's awkwardly just standing there on an angle watching the monitor. What would people usually do? They would be sitting down, comfortable, watching the match. They wouldn't be we got to get past this fucking fake bullshit. Like, we've got to think about, what do regular people do? How do people view a television when they're watching a match where they're interested to see who's going to win? They wouldn't just stand there by themselves awkwardly. That's just me. It's a small thing to be annoyed at, but it annoys me every time. So she comes out, Willow's in the ring with the belt, and I'm just standing there watching Mercedes dance. She is overpaid and overrated. Thankfully, they didn't put a microphone in her hand. But you know what? We didn't know that they were going to be wrestling at Double or Nothing, did we, Juicy Boy? Because she just made the challenge, right? She just made the challenge. She pointed to the logo. Then how do they have a graphic pop up 15 seconds later? No one's opening Photoshop behind the scenes that quickly. Shit, I better quickly make a graphic. Don't.
Little things like that. It's like, go to another match and then put the graphic up at the end of that match. Just announced moments ago, stemming from the confrontation that just happened. Now we've got this match. Because fucking hell, everyone knows that you had the render for the graphic done before the show went on the air.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be able to believe that you didn't. It's meant to be a simulation of a sports program.
Because Julia Hart might have won.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going, or else we're going to be.
We will keep going, but yes, like, and I just want to make this point. When she made her debut, the final segment of the show was her like high-fiving the fans, and then while she was still out there was a graphic that said, "We'll hear from Mercedes Moné next week," and I'm like, she's still out there, dickhead! Like, fucking put that fucking graphic up on Rampage, even though no one will fucking see it. Okay, let's move forward. AEW International Championship, another one of these pointless singles titles that they have here in AEW. I don't like this title, and I don't like the Continental. TNT's not so bad, but anyway. Roderick Strong against Kyle O'Reilly. I will try and get through this as quickly as possible, okay?
Wait, who's first? Is it you?
It's me. It's me.
Yeah.
Okay. I needed a palate cleanse at this point. I think they should have put the ladder match here. Something a bit more hardcore. I wonder what it is that Roderick Strong likes about the backbreaker so much that he made his career like after it. Like, what was it about the backbreaker? He's like, man, I fucking love the backbreaker. I'm gonna make my career be about the backbreaker. Dude, he's really good at it.
Yeah, I know. I remember hearing him talk about it on the Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana years ago.
Okay, so he has addressed it. Cool.
And it was something about he felt like no matter the size of the opponent, if you fuck up their back, you're fucking them up. Right. Something like, he had more of an explanation behind it, but that was the rationale to sort of make up for some of that size that he lacked.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I might have to seek that out. I'm interested to know what he has to say. But look, It was a very good match. The heat still wasn't there for me. I know that they've got a past and all that. Again, everyone needs to dye their hair, please. Like everyone on this roster's grey, bro. It was another great match, but it's just too long, mate. It was just too long. 17 minutes and 20 seconds. We could have got this done in about 12, let's say. Wardlow came out. Thankfully, he sorted his haircut out, and it doesn't look like Jerry and Newman and Kramer when they had bad water pressure. He stepped into the ring, and the referee made him leave. And so Wardlow went to ringside, and he did nothing. What was the point? I don't know. Is this a part of some sort of angle? Anyway, Roderick finally won. This group, the Undisputed Kingdom, is not affecting the lay of the land like they were before when they didn't know who the devil was. They're just like everyone else. It's just another stable. I think it had potential, but thank God Adam Cole's no longer injured. Hopefully we'll start getting to the angle that we're supposed to get to, and him and MJF will finally kick off. But Excalibur, it blows my mind some of the things he says sometimes. After the match, he said, "Oh yeah, well, Wardlow coming out really tipped the scales in Roderick Strong's favor." He didn't do anything.
No, did you watch the match? Roderick Strong spent the whole fucking match working on his back. Roderick won the match for himself.
He didn't tip the scales. He stepped in the ring for a quarter of a second, got told to leave, and I don't even think Kyle O'Reilly noticed that it happened. Like, Juicy Boy, take it away.
Yeah, first thing that's wrong. You bring Kyle O'Reilly back, then you put him in a match against his former friend, Roderick Strong, who's just won the championship at the previous pay-per-view. So they had Kyle O'Reilly lose in his real first big match since coming back. So that's the first stupid thing. What did I like about this match? I like that both guys were selling. I like that this felt like a fight. I like that they have past associations together, and so there was a story to this. I would have kept this match and taken the Okada pack match off the card in order to kind of keep.
Hot take there from GC Boy.
Yeah,
no Okada on the card.
Yeah, hang on, shut up, everyone. So so I would have taken this match over that, because this match felt like it had a reason for being. The Wardlow thing made no sense to me, and it was completely unnecessary. All it actually did was remind me that Wardlow was once being built up, and now they're not doing anything with him. That's the only thing that actually served to do, because he went through all that shit with MJF, and now what is he? He's just another henchman, but for Adam Cole's group.
It's the same as Hobbs. Hobbs is just a henchman now as well. God, you go to push him and then you put him back as a henchman.
So the match ends. I'm glad that Roderick won, because it would have been really annoying if they had taken it off of him on his first pay-per-view defense. It's disappointing that Kyle O'Reilly has to take a loss in his big first return match back. I don't understand why the booking isn't more thought out. And then at the end, Undisputed Era comes out. Adam Cole's still in the wheelchair. They're Adam Cole's looking all devious and smiling and shit. I'm pretty sure I just heard in the news a couple of days ago that they were taking Adam Cole off TV because traveling was too much for his recovery from his injury that's going on. So they're not having him on TV. So you've decided to take him off TV, but you're still wheeling him out on the fucking, and I can use that literally, wheeling him out on the fucking pay-per-view in his wheelchair. Honestly, all it does is draw attention to what an absolute dumpster fire that storyline, that devil storyline, ended up becoming. The match itself, I'm going to probably give it B-. I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, once again, they stick their fingers into it too much. Just let the guys go out there and have a good fucking match. Like, God, it's just frustrating, dude. It's seriously frustrating. And
go on, have a sip. Have a sip.
Like, Ah,
Get a glass and pour it into a glass, you animal.
nah, the bottle's nearly finished, man. So
You
I'm just
sitting there with your little rating system wearing your bathrobe.
yeah, just a complete fucking knob. All right.
drinking out of a 1.25 liter bottle. For Christ's sake. I don't know why that's funny, it just is. But one thing I noticed about this match, if Roderick Strong was wrestling Kyle O'Reilly, but he was Matt Riddle, he'd be wrestling Kyle Bro Riley.
Fucking hell, dude. Shut up.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the next matchup, bro. Your favorite wrestler, Chris Jericho, taking on Hook for the FTW or the Fuck the World Championship.
Yeah, so we had,
Go for
as
it,
you
bro.
just said, we had Hook versus Jericho for the Fuck the World Championship, and you know what? There were people chanting, please retire to Chris Jericho in
Very
this
rude.
match. That's rude because this is the best match Chris Jericho has had in AEW since his match against Will Ospreay. Like, seriously, I'm not
Did you see
exaggerating.
the tweets going out? That match was shit. Jericho's
What?
once
He went
again.
out there. Hey,
Jericho's.
uh, no, you know what? They're saying all that shit because Jericho won. Because this is an example of one of the rare
They got
things that,
fucking worked, mate, into a shoot.
yeah. So we've got a rare occasion here where Tony Khan AEW actually books something that's really quite smart. And I'll tell you why. They do this whole thing with Jericho and Hook trying to be a team, and then they do this whole thing with Jericho's going to be his mentor, and then it ends up devolving into this situation where there's going to be a match and it's going to be for the FTW championship. FTW rules, that's essentially a hardcore match. Anything goes and you can pinfalls count anywhere, right? It makes complete sense that the veteran Jericho would win the fucking match. What, like, this is not an example where you can say, oh, he's holding down younger guys or whatever. This is exactly what you use a talent like Chris Jericho for. If anyone sat there and watched this match and thinks that Jericho is going to be holding on to that belt, defending it in hardcore matches for the next 6 months, I don't know what to tell. They did this match because Jericho is going to put Hook over, and it's going to put Hook up to that next level.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to happen on this pay-per-view. It doesn't have to happen in the first match.
Because they can't handle it, bro. They
Yeah,
can't
hey,
handle
just hang
waiting
on
for
though. I think Jericho, he's in his 50s. He goes out there. I think he put on a hell of a match with this kid. Taz is probably an old friend of his. So he clearly had his working boots on there. Hook looked phenomenal. Hook looked like he carried his own. I gave this match a C plus. I thought it was quite good. I have my problems with Chris Jericho, like politically, ethically, morally. Like, there's a lot of things about him as a person that doesn't vibe with me. He and I would not be friends on a personal level, but his performance on this show was was completely fine. It was completely what I would expect to see out of a talent of Chris Jericho's caliber at this stage of his career. I think it's completely disrespectful to chant "please retire" at him in the arena just because he's beating one of your favorite little indie guys when you acted like he was the greatest wrestler in the world for the first 2 years of AEW, and nothing he could do, he could do no wrong for a while, no matter how badly he performed or no matter how silly he acted. But here he comes out and does his job, and they do a good piece of booking and a good piece of business on this show. And suddenly their fan base is turning on him and chanting, please retire. Why? Because he won a match for a championship that's not even an officially sanctioned championship. And he's a former AEW world champion. And he managed to get a win over a kid that's been wrestling for about 5 years.
Yeah, after hitting him in the
Oh,
head with a baseball bat.
yeah, after hitting him in the head with a baseball bat and after the kid kicking out of 2 Judas effects. Oh, fuck, bro. Jericho's buried Hook, Carl. Seriously, Jericho, he's holding these young guys down like he's drowning them in an apple bobbing tub. He's just holding them down. Hook's there. His arms are flailing. He so desperately wants that shot at stardom, but Jericho's just snuffing it out.
Why does it have to be an apple bobbing?
Okay, you're
That's
delusional if
great.
you think that Jericho didn't do his job in that match. All right, that's it.
Dude, look, I just wanted to look at Twitter and just read some of these
I
things
thought
that
that's
people are
what we
saying.
do at the end.
We're doing that at the end, but I just wanted to read some about Jericho here.
Okay.
IVP Video said, my complete and utter desire to never see Chris Jericho on television again has zero to do with where his wife was January 6th or what he may or may not have done in his personal time. As a character, he is as stale as 10-day-old bread and sucks the life out of any segment he's in. Adam Goldberg says, Jericho is long past his sell-by date. Fozzy sucks. Go home, Jericho. Go home. Please retire. Char Ding Gaming said, Chris Jericho fucking sucks. He did not need to win. Skinny Fat Pete at Pat Faddison said, God, Chris Jericho sucks. Swerve Stan at Sports King Evan. Chris Jericho fucking sucks. Nothing of value at all. Terrible in the ring and on the mic. Gets zero reaction without his theme. Doesn't put anyone over. And outside of wrestling is a dog shit human being. Yeah, you know him. You know him, don't you, bro? You hell know Jericho, bro.
Yeah. But you know what bothers me more was actually the first one that you read out of that batch. Because the guy said, I don't care where his wife was on January 6th or what may or may not have happened between him and another talent in a hotel room. I only care that his character's bad. So let me get this straight. You don't care that Chris Jericho potentially sexually harassed a 22-year-old wrestler, and you don't care that his wife was at a riot where police officers were murdered, where they tried to overturn a democratically won free election. You think that wrestling and his stale character work, that matters to you, but none of the other repugnant things that you could have a problem with. That is just the most vapid, insincere, self-absorbed, disgusting attitude I think I was going to say I've ever heard, but I'm on Twitter, so probably in the last few hours.
I mean, we don't even know if that's stuff, he might have just hit on someone. Like, that doesn't mean he doesn't matter.
But he was referencing the speculation, though.
Yeah.
He was saying he doesn't care about whether it happened either way. He only, and that's pretty gross, bro.
I wanted to read one more out. Bob the Goon at Scream Queen. Something tells me Chris Jericho is going to win just to extend this feud with Hook, even though this feud kind of sucks. Yeah, it's not going to be a one and done feud. This is what happens. The heel goes over, and then as the story plays out, the good guy gets the big win.
Yeah, notice how they all loved Lion Hook, though, when they were a team. They loved
my God, they made that shirt, a Lion Hook shirt. The team were together for what, 3 matches? Anyway, okay. I didn't even talk about the match.
No, this is a fun review. All right, go ahead, bro.
Hook, okay, look. What hurts him is the overhype, the fake hype. We all know he's a kid. He's in his early 20s and he's not jacked. How is he able to throw everyone around? Don't give me that technique bullshit. We know that everyone's putting him over to the ends of the earth. They're trying real hard to make it look like he can throw around everyone who's bigger than him. They do things like they have the hook signal in the roof, like he's Batman. Toni, there's the signal. Like, what? He's not a superhero. He's a 20-odd-year-old kid. Anyway, look, Hook is still a bit green. Let's be honest. But again, yes, the fake hype. It's hurting him. He wrestles like a backyard wrestler. When he had the, I don't know, was it a trash can lid or something? Went to jump onto the stairs to get some momentum to hit Jericho in the head with it, but he jumped and then stopped and then jumped off the stairs. Don't do it if you don't know how to do it, bro. Spot of the match was the T-bone off the ring apron through the table on the outside.
Yeah, fuck.
Okay, you fans want to tell him to retire. He just took a bump that he should not be taking at his age at this time. He had back issues, and he did that to put Hook over, and he did that to try and give you guys a good match, and you still shat on it because you're not happy about the fact that the bad guy beat Hook. I don't want Hook to lose. Grow up.
Literally, dude, when I was watching that match, as it got going, I was like, man, Jericho's turned it up. This is like Jericho back when he was closer to his prime.
He's trying.
Yeah.
Anyway, he hit the kid in the head with a baseball bat. Come on.
Yeah. Full force too. Like for anyone
Yeah.
that didn't see it, he hit him in a way like, and I'm gonna say this, I popped for it before we move on. He hit him in a way that if you did it in real life to someone, they would die. So
Yeah.
it was one of those wrestling spots that can only happen in wrestling. If it was taken out of wrestling, the person would die. So Hook is sitting up on his bottom on the mat at this point. Jericho then gets a black baseball bat, swings it
Disgusting.
full force at the side of his head. Hook doesn't get his hands up or anything. And then he pins him as if he didn't just murder the kid with a baseball bat.
And the referee
Like,
counts 3. Like, you'd think
yeah.
you'd be like call for the EMTs. That's what I would have done though. After the match, I would have had a stretcher job. I would have had like a neck brace put around him. I'd have made it look real serious situation with Taz, like devastated that his son's hurt, and you know the stretcher's going up the ramp and it goes into the ambulance in the back or whatever. Like little bits of detail like that mean more. But I guess they didn't have time to do it because they need to give all these matches all this time, because that match went 16 minutes, 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's time to move forward. We've got 4 matches left here, Juicy Boy.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm having a blast.
Good. Good. The next one, AEW Women's World Championship on the line here. Timeless Toni Storm defending against Thunder Rosa.
Oh, 2 amazing women, bro. Two.
Actually 3, because Mariah May was at ringside. Good loud. Right. Oh my
loud. You know
loud.
what? Dr. Luther's got some cake on him as well. Let's
some
not
cake
leave
on
Luther
him.
out.
Okay. I thought to myself, where has Thunder Rosa been? I mean, I don't watch the weekly product. I know that she's been back for a little while and wrestling on TV and all that, but feels like she's been gone for some time. I know she was injured and all that, but good to see her back in a spot like this, because I like Thunder Rosa. I don't care what anyone says about her. I like the spinning thing that she did off the top rope onto Toni and Luther. Luther, I laugh because he always gets fucked up.
Oh,
this poor guy. Mariah, mate, I can't get through this without just like losing my mind.
Oh my God,
dude. As beautiful as that.
Like, we get it, but
I can't handle it. She's too beautiful, bro. Whew. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Love the
by
trash
the way,
talk from yes.
No, sorry. Go on, bro. I need to get out of the habit. Go on.
You do need to get out of that habit, you son of a bitch.
Oh, fuck you.
Loving the trash talk from Thunder Rosa as the match is wearing on, and Mariah looking so concerned at ringside with her fucking gorgeous, sad face. Yeah, it was probably my favorite match of the show by that point.
Yeah.
Mariah standing on the ring apron was a very hot moment. Deonna Purrazzo came out, slammed Mariah's face onto the ring apron. That was sick. And then Luther charges at her with all of his might, and he just gets sidestepped. I was laughing so hard because where does he land? Head first into steel stairs. Like he thought he was going to get her, and the next thing he knew, he could just feel steel stairs hitting him in the face. Brilliant. And then he's just laying there unconscious on the floor. And he's wearing a nice suit as well. I like the ending. I like the finish, pulling the ring apron to distract the referee because the referee had to go sort it out. Not sure about this whole women getting kicked in the groin. I'm sure it does hurt, but it must do. But Toni Storm got the win with Storm Zero for the second time.
I mean, dude, like the private parts are sensitive. Like, I mean, I can't imagine it feels good. I can't imagine it feels good.
No, I'm sure it hurts. Anyway, go for it, bro. What did you think of the AEW Women's title match?
Bro. I mean, honestly, I really like this match as well. I'm going to give it a C+. This was the better of the 2 women's matches of the night for me. I think Toni Storm is a star. I do think one day she's just going to go back to WWE and do something not identical, but not dissimilar from what she's doing now. I think she's one of the few characters in AEW that's, working quite well. Popped for Luther getting taken out. The butler with his little white gloves writhing around on the floor always pops me. I like Toni Storm as a wrestler. I'm getting a bit sick of her trying to be a comedian at the press scrums afterwards. If she's going to do this Hollywood starlet like Silver Age gimmick that she's
Silver
doing,
screen.
silver screen gimmick that she's doing, then she shouldn't really be breaking character and joking with Toni at the press conference.
Oh, I wish that little twink would get off the fucking scrums. I'm sick of him
Yeah,
sitting there right in the middle.
yeah. Apologize for that slur there, but yeah. Uh,
Twink.
no, so it was a good match.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it. I think I think it was a good decision not to have Toni Storm lose the belt yet. I think just leave it on her until you find someone else that can get into her league.
Yeah, not Mercedes, for the love of fuck.
Nah.
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 15 minutes, 10 seconds. Okay, let's move forward. Oh, here we go, bro. Here it comes. The greatest match in the history of the universe. Juicy boy, I want you to take this away. It's Will Ospreay, the greatest wrestler in the world, against Bryan Danielson, the greatest wrestler in the world, in a 32-minute and 40-second match. Go.
All right. There is almost nothing negative to say about this match in terms of the in-ring. This was an outstanding match. I'm going to give this match an A+, the highest possible rating, plus a Juicy Boy recommendation. Go out of your way to check it out because I can't do it justice. This felt competitive. It felt tit for tat. Yes, they did a few things where they didn't sell as much as they could have, but nobody completely no-sold anything. There was selling and registering for everything that was delivered in this match. They did not do 50 different things that looked like they could have killed each person. I enjoyed this match because it was an outstanding match, but they didn't look like they were going out of their way to break their necks to accomplish it. There was a lot of mat wrestling. There was a lot of avoiding of strikes. There was a lot of countering. Loved the Os cutter off on the apron. Really liked the counter of the Os cutter into the knee strike later on. The finish I thought was pretty good. I liked the way Bryan Danielson sold the move, and then I liked the way that it was capped off straight after that move with him selling the neck. I don't necessarily think that you should have Bryan Danielson kicking out of a hidden blade and then right before the finish, Ospreay hits him with another one and Danielson gets back up again to then move into the final move of the match. Incredible spot where a triangle choke from Bryan Danielson was countered into a Styles clash. Yeah, there were a lot of really exciting things in this match, and I actually think that like this is not the best match I've ever seen. It's not the best match that I think's ever taken place in the United States. Do I think that it's the best modern style singles match that I've seen of that makes use of this style of wrestling? Yes, I think it's among that top echelon for this genre of match. I think that Bryan Danielson's performance was as crisp as it was back when he was on top in WWE. I think that he rose to the occasion knowing that this was going to be a legacy match for him. And I think that Will Ospreay looked completely confident and at ease in this match. Right person won, although I am starting to question whether or not Bryan Danielson is losing a little too much. I get it. I get that it's his last year full-time in the business, but still, this guy was WWE champion. You know, this is not just some guy that you pulled off the indies or because he was famous in Japan.
Well,
this is an actual top talent. Obviously, they're setting up for a rematch, possibly a trilogy. I'm not sure I want to see a trilogy or even a rematch because where are they going to go after this match? And again, I thought that this was quite good. I gave it the high rating. That's because they didn't go over that line. They kept this in the realm of competition, competition of the highest level, but still they weren't acting as though they were just going through a gymnastics routine. So a lot of credit there. But do I think that this can go for 3 matches without going across that line? I'm not so sure about that.
Right. The thing that it already gets my backup, I suppose you could say, makes me kind of go, is just this sheer arrogance of going on about these are the 2 greatest wrestlers in the world. Like, I get you have to sell something, but it's just the arrogance of it really annoys me, especially with the way that the fans go on about it, because the fans are a massive problem.
Yeah, let me address that quickly before we move into. I just want to say like one sentence here. Chanting "We are not worthy" because you really like a match. You fucking paid good money and then had to get off your ass and travel and go and sit in an arena and wait in line and pay all those ridiculous concession stand prices. You're not worthy of seeing these 2 guys get paid millions of dollars to pretend to fight in front of you and the rest of the 6,000. Because by the way, that's the attendance. There was only 6,000 people in attendance. WWE just had 17,000 for a house show, but match of the century right here. So
that was going to be my first real comment. The 2 greatest wrestlers in the world, 6,300 in attendance.
yeah,
Just okay. The greatest wrestlers in the world, they're so great that people just can't even stand seeing them wrestle. So
yeah.
they have to go into a small arena. Anyway, so yes, it's the arrogance of it all that kind of bothers me. But look, very RVD Jerry Lynn-esque stuff to begin with. I like the stalemate stuff. I really wanted to try and ignore the crowd, but 2 minutes in, they were already chanting "Fight Forever." No, dickheads. You chant that after like 15 minutes when a few amazing things have happened. They've done nothing yet. Stop being sheep. Stop thinking to yourselves, oh, we're an AEW crowd. We have to do the chants. We have to do the chants.
Oh, dude, and did you hear that there were 2 Tony Khan chants as well?
Oh, fuck off.
So did you hear them?
No.
There was a collective effort on the part of the crowd. They did the AEW chant 4 times, and they chanted Tony Khan on 2 separate occasions. So there are a couple of moments where these guys did a big spot, and the crowd starts going Tony Khan. Like,
don't give that little dickhead any more fuel for his fire to make him think that he's this master booker. You know he's doing a shit job. The ratings are in the gutter. You can't draw a crowd. Stop making him think that he's good what he's doing. He's not. He's just a guy that puts 2 names together on a piece of paper with a crayon. That's all he does. And he puts it through his booking simulator to see what Adam Ryland and his coding decides on the matches from Total Extreme Warfare. And by the way, those games, when they first came out, Tony Khan was like in his early 20s. Like, I played those games when I was like 13, 14 years old. He was playing those games in his 20s. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? I play it now, but I'm just saying. Fuck. Okay. Yes, the "We're Not Worthy" chant, for fuck's sake. Okay. There was a point in this match where I was like, okay, like, I feel like no one's trying to win the match. Like, there was a moment where Danielson hit Will Ospreay in the face, and then Ospreay hit Danielson and looked like he got knocked out. You'd think that Ospreay would quick. Oh shit, I might be able to beat him right now, but he walked off. He walked off. It's things like that don't make this the greatest match of all time. I'm sorry. It's a small detail, but it's a very important detail because it just shows that this is all for show. It's not this isn't a. You're not suspending my disbelief at all, okay? You're just making me think, oh, is he going to kick out of that one? Oh, is he going to kick out of that one? Oh, I don't know about that. That's all you're making me think. You're not making me think,
that they're going to kick
oh my
out.
God, this is real. That's what you're supposed to be making fans think. Oh my God, this is like, I've forgotten that this is fake. No, all that you're doing is you're just doing things and making me think, oh, he might stay down or he might not.
Yeah. Dead
That's all it
on.
is. There's a vast
Yeah.
difference when you watch this or you watch Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 91. You watch
Taker versus fucking
Taker and
Michaels.
Shawn. Like you watch those
Kurt
matches and
versus
you're
Shawn.
so Kurt and Shawn, like you're so, you could almost, it sounds lame, but you could almost
The,
cry because of how invested you were, like suspensefully, like, oh my God, this is just, yeah, I've already said it. It's just like, okay, they just did this. He might lose from that or he might not. It's exciting in a way. It's like an action film, but it's not doing what the job is supposed to do, which is suspend the disbelief. Anyway, um, he took a tiger suplex off the top rope. I've got to give Ospreay credit. The guy takes some pretty hectic bumps, but I don't think he's probably going to be wrestling in 10 years. There's just no way. Not that he needs to worry about that because he's getting paid. He's making bank, son. One thing I did not like about the match was when Danielson did that trap back suplex or whatever, and Ospreay no-sold it and fired up.
yeah.
That almost made me skip to the end, but I left it because I hate when they no sell deep into the match when they've already been getting messed up over and
Yeah.
over again. They do it all the time now, and I don't want to see it anymore. But anyway, he hit a hidden blade, and it didn't do anything because then he got kneed when he went for the Oz cutter. Dope spot, but he just got hit with Osprey's finisher. So
Yeah.
people bitched and moaned over what Ricochet did on WWE Speed. But this is fine. I did like
Yeah.
the end of the match, the spot where they both went for their finishes at the same time, like you didn't know who was going to hit it. That was very cool. But then, like, I thought that should have been the finish. Then he has to hit that Tiger Driver thing, drop him on his head. Then he's convulsing on the ground, and then has to hit one more hidden blade. Like, I think that the finish should have just been when they went for their finishes at the same time, and Danielson ended up getting wiped out. That should have been the end. That's
Yep.
just me.
That's what I thought too.
So it's once again, they always just have to go just one step a little bit further.
So yeah, just that's what we're saying as well. This just by what Carl just said there, this already can't be the best match in the history of the US. It can't be because
No.
they broke a couple of those cardinal rules.
Okay, I just want to quickly read this out from this is a casual wrestling fan.
Are we
and
skipping again?
and sorry.
Are we
Just stop questioning and just let me run the show, okay? This is a casual wrestling fan, okay, and he sent me his notes on this match, and I just want people to hear what like a casual fan thinks of a match like this, okay? He's
Yeah.
never watched AEW before, okay?
Here we
This is
go.
his first time. A slow start, but why are the fans losing their minds when nothing is happening? It's nice to see some fast-paced technical wrestling from these guys. Oh, I see the no selling of chops and forearms are an exchange that has to happen in almost every match. Although that backflip enziguri was dope. Jesus Christ on a motorbike, that tiger suplex from the top rope did look fun. But now we are back to the no selling of kicks at this point in the match. It's stupid and makes the sport look hokey. Another stupid exchange that ends with a no-sold suplex and a devastating no-sold elbow to the face. Why am I watching this? In any other company, that would have been the finish. Ospreay finally wins by almost killing Danielson. Was a solid match minus the hokiness. That's from a friend of the Slam Society, Subroon or Rooney. Thank you for your thoughts on the match there, Rooney. I just thought you might find that funny, Juicy Boy.
Yeah, well, I mean it just makes sense to me more than anything else. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Look, let's. Okay, that's probably the longest match we're going to talk about because we've got two more to go here. We're almost done. Ladder match for the tournament final for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks taking on FTR. I'll get through this as quick as possible. 21 minutes, 35 seconds. Could have got it done in 17, but that's okay. I couldn't believe that the Bucks put themselves on after the Ospreay Danielson match. I keep thinking to myself, aren't they bored? Aren't the Young Bucks bored? Like they've already won the tag titles a bunch of times. Like, I don't know. I'd just be bored if I were them. Like, I felt like the match meant nothing to me. Both members of FTR were down at several times, and no one from the Young Bucks side was trying to set up a ladder to climb it to win the match, which is the point of the match. Instead, the guys from FTR are down. Dax is bleeding, and they're going to the outside to set up tables. Unbelievable. I did like Cash Wheeler just barging Matt Jackson off the apron through a table. The forfeit, I will give, I don't know which young buck it was, but the 450 splash off the top rope through a table, that was like perfectly timed, the flush. Very well done. It's very easy to screw something like that up. I did like the finish with Jack Perry showing up to screw FTR. And then the crowd are yay cheering because the heels won. But apparently there was CM Punk chants during the match as well. Anyway, that's all my thoughts. Juicy Boy, what do you think?
Yeah, mate, I'm giving this match actually a B plus. I think
Ooh.
this was one of the Bucks' best performances in ages, and I'll tell you why. Because they actually acted like heels. As soon as they realized they were in a ladder match, this match started. FTR runs out, starts trying to grab the ladders. It makes sense because they're the type of team that's all business. Young Bucks chase him out, cut him off. The Young Bucks then grabbed the ladders, and they started using them as an offensive weapon, and almost immediately busted open Dax, cut off Cash. And I felt like even though this was a ladder match, wow, the Bucks are actually being heels. They're selling things here. This is probably the most entertained I've been out of the 4 matches that these two teams have had, because
Well, I never.
the fact that it was a ladder match almost forced the Young Bucks to have to sell whenever they were on defense. And I thought that FTR did a good job of being like the baby faces in peril. Both teams took a great deal of punishment in this match. I feel as though it would be unfair of me as a reviewer not to give the Bucks credit when they do something good, because Lord knows when they do something I don't like, I'm right there jumping down their throats. I want to give them credit here. I don't think they should have won, but I liked their performance in the actual match. They had a match here that reminds people of what people see in him. Jack Perry runs the interference. Everyone acts like it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. He pulls the mask off, and Jack Perry's actual face underneath the mask looks like a 12-year-old kid's. He looks like a constipated 12-year-old kid when he pulls off the mask, and he's got that little smirk, and everyone's acting like it's huge, and I'm just sitting there.
Like a 12-year-old kid that has a beard.
Yeah. A 12-year-old kid that's like glued some pubes onto his face. I get the logic of having Jack Perry come in and do this. At least it's good in the sense that it provided FTR with a reasonable out without them having to just take a clean loss to the Bucks. But I'm going to say it again and then we'll move on. No one fucking cares. No one fucking cares. All this groundswell of support that people are trying to manufacture for Jack Perry.
It's always manufactured, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Outside of those few niche people and people that just hate CM Punk, like nobody was sitting there missing Jack Perry on this show. Like, I'm sorry, weakest part of a decent ladder match. Like,
all right, bro. Let's get to the final match, the main event of the evening. Swerve Strickland challenging Samoa Joe for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Take it away, Juice Boy.
Yeah, I feel like Samoa Joe was shortchanged a little bit in his entire championship reign, because he won the belt not long after all the Punk controversy and everything had gone down. Obviously, he was notorious for being CM Punk's final opponent in AEW. And everyone, Samoa Joe is one of those people that fans and people in the business alike, we all respect. He held the belt for about 5.5 months. It's the right decision to put the belt on Swerve because he's organically gotten over with this crowd, regardless of what I think about the product. You can't deny that Swerve's one of their over acts. I
Yeah.
like the fact that you've got an African American, you've got a black AEW world champion, you've got an AEW world champion that's cool, that's got charisma. Every AEW champion that we've had in the past, we've had Chris Jericho, who was, past his prime. We've had people like, we had MJF, who was more of a typical classic wrestling heel. We had CM Punk, who was pretty much just being CM Punk.
We have Moxley,
Now,
who was awesome.
no, hang on. Yeah, we had Moxley, who just was go away heat, and just I wanted to turn off the channel every time. Now in Swerve, we finally have this cool, hip champion that people flipping through the channels may see him and they'll think, well, that looks different from, the champion that you usually see over on WWE. This might be worth checking out. Having said that, though, I have absolutely no faith coming out of this that either the championship of Swerve, like his reign, I don't have much faith that that's going to be handled well. And I definitely don't have much faith that Samoa Joe coming out of this is going to be handled all that well. And that's the problem. I can only give this match a C+. I think it suffered from its placement in the card. There's a difference between being the main event and being on last. The main event of that show was Bryan Danielson, versus Will Ospreay, because that was sort of the match that all their fan base was most hyped for. That was sort of the big money match on the whole card. And after you have a 36-minute title, huge showdown between these two guys, first time ever match.
Then the ladder match.
Yeah, you follow that up with a 20-minute ladder match. It's a bit hard to go out there and then make your 16-minute singles match for the champion as compelling. So I think they suffered a bit from that. It's not their fault. But
yeah. Well, I would have to say, I'm not going to talk too much about the main event. When you've already had all those matches take place beforehand and you burn out people like me, it was a good match, but to me it just didn't feel special because we'd just seen two matches that went like how fucking long. Like, okay, the Young Bucks match was 21.5 minutes long. Ospreay and Danielson was 32 minutes 40. That's not including entrances. That's a long time. And you expect me to be hype for Joe and Swerve? Like we're hitting like 4 hours, near 4 hours at that point. So it's a bit much. So it does it a bit of a disservice, but I was very happy to see Swerve win the title. I think it's good to get one of these younger guys to be the face of your company. You've had your MJF, but I think maybe we need to step away from your Samoa Joes, your John Moxleys, your Omegas, etc. They've been around, they've done it enough now. You need to have a face of your company that seems fresh. So that's pretty much, is that everything I had to say? Pretty much. And other than that, just kicking out of finishing moves seems to be overly prevalent these days. Anywho, Juicy Boy, let's get to these tweets.
Yeah. Actually, let's give our overall rating first. Then we'll do the tweets at the end.
Okay, fine. What's your rating out of 10, bro?
I'm going to give this show an 8 out of 10. I actually thought this was a pretty decent AEW show. Little bit of the overkill as usual. But the biggest problem with this show was the audience, man. It was the audience. More than the company itself. And you can be pissed off at me if you're a huge AEW fan, but stop ruining the fucking show for me. Like I'm the one.
Okay, what am I going to give it? I'll just give it a 7 out of 10, just middle of the road. Cool. All right, let's do some tweets. Let's look at some tweets and let's respond to them.
Yeah, okay? I've got them pulled up in front of me here.
So... Okay, I'll read it out. Okay, bro, I'll read it out. And you can respond to this first one, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
From this fucking guy, bro. At AEW Defender. Whenever you feel like complaining about a wrestler, stop yourself and be thankful Grayson Waller isn't in AEW.
Well, you know what? I agree with one part of your tweet there. I am grateful that Grayson Waller isn't in AEW because if he was, he'd be being wasted there instead of actually getting an opportunity like he is in WWE, where, he just won the tag team titles at WrestleMania and they just presented him with new belts. But that's okay. You can sit there with your Sting profile picture and your Twitter handle that literally is AEW Defender and think that anyone's going to give a shit about your opinion, but no one does.
Well, we apparently did to a certain point, so we could make fun of him. But anyway, okay. So I'm responding to a comment that I saw in our, well, it was actually in my Discord messages from Sabrine, who is again the guy who is the casual fan this is his first time watching AEW. Just a very poignant point to be made. Yeah, why is the ref letting all 6 men be in the ring?
Yeah.
There you go. Need I say more? Okay. This next one. Okay. When you sent this to me, I nearly had a mental breakdown over how Air Gold underscore. Well, their name is Air, right?
Yeah, one of our faves.
Second worst Twitter account other than the real one, who is the biggest dickhead on Twitter. Okay, but this guy, he almost takes the cake. Okay, it's crazy how quickly Okada learnt where the hard cam is and how quickly he became the best heel on US soil. Hashtag AEW Dynasty.
Yeah. Let me just quickly respond to that. Are you trying to imply that Japanese people are somehow inferior to people of other races? Like, crazy how quickly he recognized where the hard cam is. It's not that fucking difficult. You walk into an arena before the show and everything's all set up there. Oh yeah. And the agent says the hard cam's on that side of the ring. And then you know where the hard cam is. You fucking idiot. Why are you giving credit for something that you shouldn't have to give a highly paid, high-level professional credit for? Hottest heel in the US? I'd say probably 2% of the US population even know who the fucking guy is.
Right.
Yeah, no, yeah, The Rock just came back and did record business. The most famous movie star on the planet just came back as a mega heel against like the top babyface in WWE. But no, Okada's the hottest heel in the wrestling business. Blow it out your ass, man. You know what? Air is an appropriate name for your Twitter account because you're just full of hot air. Okay? You're full of hot air.
Right. The only thing I could think of when I first read this is Air Gold. Do you not think they have a fucking hard cam in Japan, you fucking dickhead? Do you really think that Okada, when he wrestled in New Japan, didn't know where the hard cam was because they don't ask him to do it there? Every time he does that fucking taunt when he's going to go for the Rainmaker, what does he fucking do? He looks at the fucking hard cam, you moron.
Yeah.
Shut
these
up.
people, they just live in their own reality, bro. They're not in touch with them. They don't live in reality.
God, you're so deluded, you fucking dickhead.
It's literally, it's like concerning.
Like what? Okada just like they just threw him out there to learn how to find the hard cam is on his own.
Yeah.
Just learn where it is on his own. You think before you fucking tweet, you moron. And no, he's not the best heel on US soil. He's doing a great job. But when you guys, you fans, you do this, you blow smoke with your rose-tinted glasses on, you make comments like this and you make yourself a target for people to be like, shut the fuck up, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. And, it's like people might criticize us for addressing it and giving it attention. It's content for us. Like, it's a hobby of mine is just looking at stupid shit people tweet and just calling them out on it.
Like, to be honest, I like getting annoyed at things.
Yeah, I'm
It's
quite fine with it. I'm quite fine with it. But we've got more to look at, don't we, bro?
Yeah, we
So
do. There's another one
let's,
that okay, here we go. Okay, right. This is a two-parter.
yeah.
This is one that I found earlier. Where did the other one go? Uh Hang on. Okay, you know what? While I'm looking for that, we'll read out your next one. Okay. From wrestling underscore Mark. Um, I don't know who Chris is, but they're talking to someone called Chris. Dear Chris, the
He's
last
referring to Chris Jericho
Oh,
and the
okay,
crowd's
sorry.
reaction to him.
Dear Chris, last time the AEW crowd turned on someone like this, they left and went back to WWE. Look at them now. That could be you, a two-time Rumble winner and double Mania main eventer who just cries and gets pops. Go home, you know it makes sense. Regards, everyone. That got 1.5 thousand likes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
132 retweets. What is wrong with you fucking people? That is just one of the stupidest things I've read today.
All right. Here's point number one that I'm going to address.
Knob.
Cody's success in WWE did not come as the result of AEW fans turning on him. Okay? AEW fans were turning on him, but the reason why he left AEW is because he was being phased out of that EVP position and the company was he wasn't going to be that top guy. I think he realized that. And the other thing is, like, the last time anyone got the fans turned on anyone from AEW. So he's also implying that the fans have equally turned on Chris Jericho that amount, which is insane because Cody Rhodes had like go away heat at the end of that AEW tenure. And then you're sort of implying that all the success Cody had once he went to WWE isn't really real because it's not in AEW and all he does is cries and gets pops. Well, you know what else he does? He gets pussy too. When's the last time you've ever gotten a piece of pussy, dude?
A piece of pussy. Fucking hell, bro.
Sitting there typing away on your little computer. Oh, Jericho needs to. When you go back to WWE, when you go home, you know it's true. Who the fuck are you to tell him what he knows?
Man. I don't know these fans, dude.
Your Twitter handle is Wrestling Mark. That's not something you're supposed to be proud of, you dumb fucking... All right.
Bro, you know what? Like, you know what disgusts me the most about that kind of shit is like Jericho went there at the beginning. He took a gamble to help. He wanted to help, like, am I the biggest fan of Jericho? No, but he wanted to help that company like grow, and he thought maybe his name recognition might really help. So for someone like a fan of AEW who clearly loves them that much, for him to talk like that to somebody who clearly went out on a limb to help this company that he didn't know if it was going to succeed or not, but he went there. He's done his best. Maybe he's a bit over the hill now, but to make comments like that and to talk like that and target him with a public tweet like that, like, you are a toxic skid mark. You are the worst case of wrestling fan.
But you're too much of a pussy to actually tag him in the tweet as well, because you didn't at Chris Jericho. You just typed his name and expected everyone to know about it because, once again, that's how much the AEW bubble you live in.
I don't get what's wrong with these people. Hey, they're just fucking weird about all this stuff.
You'd never say anything like that to Chris Jericho's face. In fact, I think if you met Chris Jericho...
Oh, hi, Chris, can I get an autograph?
Yeah, you'd be asking for a fucking photo so you can stand there and pose next to him in your fucking quadruple XL shirt because that's the only fucking one that fits you.
All right, and it says Scissor Me Daddy on it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Like, they're gonna drive him out of that company, and he's gonna end up back at WWE, and then they're gonna be all whinging that he went back.
And I bet you he'll be better once he's back there.
Yeah. Okay, let's move forward with these tweets, bro. Okay. All right, like, I don't really have anything to say. I just wanted to show this. So Bryan Alvarez. So someone responded to him, but I'm going to read out Bryan's tweet first. Ospreay beat Danielson in probably the greatest match that has ever taken place in the United States, with a full stop at the end. You just open yourself up to so much ridicule, Bryan. You open it up so easily. Because the anti-mark of pro wrestling at anti-mark of PW, I love this guy. He's hilarious. He's done that. You know that video? Oh god, they had the AI of Solo Sikoa coming out, and he's in front of a crowd and he's dancing and all that. He's got Bryan Alvarez's head on this guy, and it says Bryan Alvarez skipping and dancing all the way to picking up the award for dick riding quote of the year. Fucking
man.
owned, dude. He's right,
Yeah,
Bryan. He is
yeah,
right. You are an absolute dipshit, bro. Sorry.
yeah.
Okay, let's move forward. Okay, I quoted him before. Oh no, sorry. I already used this tweet last time when I was talking about Jericho. Let's move forward again. Um, okay, so Tom at the best 4341 replied to Dave Meltzer 6 hours ago saying, "What's the point of rankings if Mercedes can just automatically get a title match?" Laugh cry emoji. Dave Meltzer responds, because they want to make it because they want to make it like a real sport, like boxing, kickboxing, or MMA, with you have rankings, but if you're a draw, you get title matches regardless. Yeah, draw.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, the
Well,
ratings are showing that, aren't they?
yeah, no. Well, here's the other thing. First of all, yes, there are boxers and MMA fighters who use their high profile in order to work out good promotional deals for themselves. But in boxing and MMA, the number one contender for the championship is the number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of whether someone's a better draw than them or not, that person needs to get their championship shot before anything else can happen. So your rationale is bullshit, Dave, just based on that, because it shows that you don't even understand how boxing works. And then second of all, who are you? Who is any one of these AEW fans to just unilaterally decide that we're all going to pretend that Mercedes money is this huge, massive draw,
Money.
um, and
Yeah.
so now she just is. Sorry, she can't just walk in there and get a title shot. If Trish Stratus showed up on AEW TV, or Mickey James, or somebody like that, they could maybe walk in and get a title shot in AEW despite the rankings. Because you know what? They've been to the top of the mountain in all these other companies. Mercedes Moné is not on that level. She's one of 4 women that pioneered the division in WWE. And I just think that reply by Dave there is just complete bullshit.
Yeah, he's just always trying to find a way to make it be okay. Okay, let's keep going. They've got 3 to go here, bro. 3 to go. Matt Austin at Matt Austin YT. So you must have a YouTube channel. Okay, Cody, you finished the story. You're champ, but of a company with no heart. It's time to come home to the house you helped build and join the greatest roster ever created. There's no way you just watched hashtag AEW Dynasty and didn't get that itch. It's
He
time
did.
to scratch it, bruv.
Who says he what? Why would you think he would be watching it?
Why would he want to come back? He just won at the main event of WrestleMania. You fucking dickhead.
I literally just saw a local news channel from the United States recently put up on their YouTube channel. Local news reporter gets starstruck meeting WWE superstar, and it's literally a video of this news reporter being starstruck by Cody Rhodes because she's going to interview him. It's like a behind the scenes shot of when he walks in and they meet up, right? And yet you think that this guy is going to go back to a company where he was hated, where he had go away heat, where everything seemed to be completely manufactured to make him look like the golden child, and nobody wanted to see it. And now he comes over here and everyone does want to see it. And you're sitting there making this really pathetic, frankly, impassioned plea to him, as if Cody has time to sit there and read through people's tweets talking about a show for a promotion he's not in. And then you ended up by saying, you can't tell me you watched AEW Dynasty and didn't get that itch.
Fuck off.
What are you talking? What makes you think he watched AEW Dynasty?
You know what? He probably did, but I don't think he would have got an itch because he's doing pretty fucking good where he is right now. He's just fulfilled his dream of winning the belt his father never won. What the like? He's not a mark on that level where he's like, I need to go where the best wrestle. Like, bro, they just drew 6,300 people. Okay, WWE are sneezing and they're getting like tens of thousands of people at their shows. Shut the fuck up! You don't understand how wrestling works.
The guy works a program with The Rock.
And and he's going to come back and do what?
And this person thinks he's going to come back. You know, the guy's just been in the WrestleMania main event with The Undertaker and John Cena and The Rock and fucking all this shit happening. He's had Randy Orton carrying him on his shoulder after he wins the title. But nah, he's got that itch now because he saw Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay kick out of 600 finishes. So he has that itch. He's going to go back there now.
You gave it an A+ and you just took the piss out of it. Okay.
No, it was a good match.
Okay, look, bro. This review is nearing 2 hours. Okay, 2 more tweets. Okay, 2 more tweets. Okay. Wrestling_Mark. He's got a double feature here. Oh, this is horrible. I can't believe I have to read this out, bro. It's the when you think of Alvarez as the dick rider, this is dick riding on another level.
Yeah, this one
is sickening.
Yeah. So gross. Before you read, I pulled this one up and sent it to him. And okay, I'm not even going to respond because I'll go for too long. Go ahead.
When I was a kid, I used to watch Michael Jackson concerts and see fans faint in the crowd through excitement and being overwhelmed. I always thought that was really fucking weird. Until now. Now I get it. Pro wrestling peaked tonight. AEW Dynasty.
The only thing that peaked is my fucking blood pressure. If I keep having to read shit like that, okay? And people
find a vomit bag.
People fainting of excitement because they're seeing Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson in his prime was like a living god, okay? If you've ever seen live concerts of Michael Jackson on the European history tour, there are women jumping up and trying to hug him and kiss him on the stage, just being torn off by security guards while he just keeps going on and on. These are people overwhelmed like they're meeting a god or something. It was like a god. And you're sitting there telling me that you just got that experience from Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. Seriously, dude, are you a virgin? Like,
what a fucking weird thing to say. Like, how can you compare Michael Jackson concerts and fans fainting in Budapest?
Yeah,
no people in Budapest are fainting over Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson having a fake wrestling match. You stupid dolt.
Oh, and the fact that he actually put it up too. Like, no self-awareness. He actually thinks that people are going to read that and just think it's a reasonable, normal thing to think.
It's just fucked, bro. Just like if a casual wrestling fan saw that, they'd be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Twink. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, last tweet. Okay.
Probably cousins, bro. It's all right.
Last tweet. Okay. Like, oh, the dick riding doesn't end, bro. All Elite Doug, 21. Tonight was a giant FU to all the AEW haters. This company has only been around 5 years and is already legendary. Greatest matches and pay-per-views of all time belong to AEW. God, I love this company. Dude, have you ever seen The Sopranos? Or
yes.
Breaking Bad? Not you.
Yes.
This guy. Has he ever seen, like, actual entertainment?
Yeah.
Because I can't do it, bro.
Yeah, come on, man. We're so close. We're so close. Come on, bro.
I'm not a violent man, but I would love to give All Elite Doug 21 an open hand after licking it first and just smacking it across his face to make him wake up. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you insane? You tweet that out? You're not married.
Yeah.
There's no way. If your wife saw that tweet, if you're married and your wife saw that tweet, mate, Get ready to part
Bro.
ways with 50% of what you own.
Fuck, dude. If he is married, his wife is dry as the Sahara, bro. I'll tell you that.
Oh, God.
Fucking.
God, I love this
Jesus.
company.
God, I love this guy. Dude, the last time I had sex, I didn't get that excited, man.
That is such a great comment. Fucking hell. These people, man, like, no wonder it's a turn off to people when they read stuff like that. Because a
Yeah.
WWE fan who might be interested in watching AEW, they might read something like that and be like, oh, they're weird. I don't really want to
Yeah.
be a part of that.
Because I'm sure there's people that read a tweet like that, and it's just like ECW One Night Stand 2005 has entered the chat room. You know,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 17 has entered the chat room.
Like, what happened to the cool wrestling marks? What happened to, like, the ECW crowd that drink beers and they're just boys and they just love wrestling and stuff? You know, Nitro, you're watching the fans in attendance. There's diehards there. There's also the casuals. But, you know, the fans back then didn't seem like they were so fucking weird about this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
comparing it to Michael Jackson and this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to pro wrestling. And it was a giant FU to all the haters and
It would, yeah.
greatest roster of all time. Greatest this, greatest that. No. 6,300 people. Less than like 800,000 people watching their main show every week. No. If it was that good, it would be drawing amazing ratings and buy rates and crowds. So fuck you.
And honestly, if when you're writing a tweet like that, you're fucking lying to yourself, dude. You're lying to yourself.
And you know what? After saying all this, Juicy Boy, I want AEW to succeed. I want them to do really good. But when there's fans like that dick ride it so much, it makes me actively not like AEW just so it annoys them and seeing AEW not succeed. The only enjoyment I would ever get out of that is knowing that they were wrong and that they're stupid.
See, I don't get any joy out of annoying them at all because I don't care what they think. I know that I know more than them. But it's just like it's just honestly. You're not. This is why we have been incorporating this reading the tweets into the end of reviews because that gives you the context to understand the kind of fan base that we're dealing with when it comes to AEW. Anyway, it's been a long review.
It has. I'm sorry.
I appreciate you sticking with it, Carl, because you know had some things that we needed to get off our chest. And, it was fun though.
Fuck, bro. It was fun. Why do the AEW reviews always go longer than every other one?
Probably because they only do like 4 pay-per-views a year, and
it's not that.
They're always full of shit, dude.
All right, Juicy Boy. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, no fucking worries, mate.
Thank all of you out there for joining us here on the Slam Society. Please, again, like, subscribe, hit the bell if you liked our stuff. If you didn't agree with things that we said, comment. Leave a comment. Let's have a chidwag. Let's talk about it.
I'm right here.
Yep. Find us on Twitter. You know, at Juicy Boy, at California WZWA. Yeah, man. But awesome. You know, like the person who has the rudest comments to say about AEW is always Monet, mate. So, you know, if you really want to defend AEW, send some tweets. Go annoy him. Yeah, go annoy him because, man, the stuff he says, we can't even put it on the air. Disgusting. Okay, Juice Boy, thank you. And thank all of you once again. We will see you down the road. Thank you.